Ndichikutambirai zvekare pano paHadzirari 263 pano pachange ndichikuzivisai manews updates ezvinhu zviri kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. Kana uchiri munyowani pathis YouTube channel, kusubscribe mahara wetena on the notification bell so that pandinoramba ndichidzoka neamwe manews updates uchange uchingozvionera. Panapa uchange uchiona manews updates ezvinhu zviri kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. Saka ndikuti subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Vadikani, pane video ragogo rikucirculate mastreets esocial media zvichireva kuti video iri riri kutrenda mastreets esocial media. Chichaita kuti video iri ritrende, vobuda mastreets esocial media vachitaura zvavanga vachitaura. Vataura zvavataura, vanhu munongovaziva kuti mucomment section vanenge vakatoshatirwa kana kuti vanenge vachifara. So let you tell Zvazoshata comment section after wapedza kuona video ragogo ava. Pane timu rangu riya rinozoya chiti hatirari video ragogo ava ndanga ndariona kana kuti ndakariona. Ndosaka ndichibatanidza manews updates epanapa kuitira kuti next video unogona kunge usinawo kuriona. Pane vamwe vanenge vasina kuona first video rachona. Sada kusiyai muchiona video ragogo. Wapedza kuona video ragogo ava uta Zvazoshata comment section. Ndine last update.
Pandere Zanu PF. Ina nditombokwanisi kuti zviyanyange tichinamata. Ndinamata ndakadzadzanura mavoko. Saka tese ngatinamatei. Iri vanenge vachida kuita zvibhakera sechangu itai. Baba vedu vari kumusoro kudenga, ndinokudanai nguva ino yamasikati ano Jehovha wakanaka. Mwari chikomborerai nyika yedu kuti nyika yedu ifambe zvakanaka. Varege kuramba vachingosora kuti Zanu PF haigoni, ivo ukauya unogonei. Saka Mwari itai kuti vanhu vose vadzokere kumusangano. Tinogamuchira nyangwe dai vakanga vakarasika. Isi tinotonga nyika nezita rejesi nechikonzero chekuziva kuti Mwari wakanaka. Kana usina Mwari wagoni kuitungamira nyika. Saka vedu wese yanai nezvekungoti havagoni, zvinhu zvadhura. Nyangwe ani aripo saka zvisingadhiri naingosora. Tinokuzirai, come back to square. Dzokai muye kumusangano weZanu PF. Pasine nhondu.
Next update ivideo remuromo uyo akabuda mastreets esocial media achizviadresa iye achitipa maintro iye ezita rake aizviti drone commander. So drone commander uyo wabuda mastreets esocial media achitaura amwe mashoko anga achitaura pamusoro penyika yeZimbabwe, mashoko ekuti handikwanisi kumawedzera kana kumatapudza, ndofamba ndiine proof nyaya dzepanapa dzina maside effect mukati. So da kusiyai muchiona video, apedza kuona video tozvonofika comment section. Inisa Hadhirari ndafunga kukusiyai, tosangana zvekare munguva inotevera. Wasubscribe here, watena on the notification bell here. Much love.
Yaskangoya kuenda kubasa. Morning morning, fellow Zimbabweans. Right, let's fix this first. Then we carry on. Morning. Thank you, Mr. JTT, for coming on board. So guys, let me fix this for now. Right. Let me just put this in place so we can talk. Sorry, that's my radar there. Don't worry about it. It will make noise. So we don't have mapurisa chitupa maticket are unnecessary. Okay? So that's my radar. Is everything locked up? Sorry, just a second. Guys. Okay. Making sure everything is fine at home before we leave, okay? Now, gentlemen, it's in the morning. I know it's at night, Africa. Good evening to you guys, and good afternoon wherever you are, if it's afternoon. And good morning to this side of the world. Right, gentlemen, listen. Tinotaura zvinhu zviri kuitika, okay? We are a people that are very concerned with our current situation, and the information that we receive from a number of sources that we may want to call reliable or whatever we want to call them, okay? So gentlemen, particularly the guys in Africa, okay? Particularly guys in Africa and South Africa, I want you to know one thing. The struggle that's going on right now, the Gaza struggle, is not going to stop, okay? So there is this fight, this dog, I call it a dog fight, among us or between people who are relevance, okay? People that are looking for relevance to be known, kunzia uindiningi, so and so, anotaura na comrade nyoka mabunere, kana anotaura na comrade Gaza. Now, gentlemen, let me tell you one thing. Look at the liberation struggle, the first or second Chimurenga, okay? And ask yourself why there was Zanla. Ask yourself why there was Zapu, all those patriotic fronts, right? And other smaller ones that were there. Were all these coordinated by one person? No. Were they all led to fight against similar cause? Yes. Okay? So, you know kuti problem yatina isema Zimbabweans atina kubatana. Okay? Atina kubatana zvachese. We don't know what we want. We want to be liberated from these problems. But unfortunately, I think I do understand why tisina kubatana, because we have gone to a point where we don't understand what liberty is. Okay? Atitozi kuti chinonzi kusununguka kwacho chi. What's involved in a free world, how you should be living in a country where you experience all your rights and everything else as a free citizen, right? Urumendeka aipo kungokutungamira kunzi president ningi president ndimnangago, okay? Azvisirizo zvinoreva kuene government. Kuene government azvire kuti saka Nick Mangwana ndiye spokesman wamnangago. Okay? They are not supposed to be spokespeople who tell you kuti president aenda ku Russia, or president aenda ku Cuba, or president aenda ku Akati. That's all we hear. Okay? Right now, the government should be coming up with a new strategy, a new plan on rebuilding the nation. I don't care about all these other things. Personally, Ninika, I don't care about all this nonsense. Zekutravela, nekuita say, nekuti siratara isinani basarese. Vana vajgetara, vana vanuitara. Okay? I want to see a government, whichever is going to come, that's going to value development from right now of rebuilding. Kanchiti rebuild and rebuild is kuita tuma government structures to sinane basarese nekuedzera tuma constituencies to sinane basarese. That doesn't help me with anything. What helps me is to understand kuti no, there is a water main that's being overhauled throughout the country. There is a sewer system being overhauled throughout the country, right? And every house, every assigned stand irimo mu Zimbabwe is being provided with a free toilet, free shower, free bathroom tap, kapane tabs, free everything. The government should supply those and start rebuilding the nation. But what do we get? We get people that are focused. You know, the country is at a stage where things are not okay. Personally, I want to see a social welfare-based government. That's what I want to see. Personally, I want to see ED. Achita step down and leave these two people that know what they're doing. I want to see a social welfare-based government. A government that's going to care for the people to start with. A government that provides subsidies to its citizens. A government that pays people, whether they go to work or not. There should be a welfare scheme that helps the general public to come from point A to point B because things are hard. You see, that's what I'm talking about personally. But I don't seem to understand why. I don't seem to understand why the government is not participating in these little things that we are referring to. Guys, there are problems that are there. And the only way to solve these problems, like I said to Tinoma Chakaire, implement a strategy where you're going to have a register for all the disabled people. And make sure these disabled people, they are getting paid at least something. At least something. Make sure they get paid at least something weekly or fortnightly or monthly, whichever way you choose, whatever you want to pay them. But then at the end of the day, we are talking to deaf ears, and it. And after I had done multiple videos and also tagged Tinoma Chakaire and also tagged a number of people, I said, guys, there is a dire situation in the hospitals that everyone wants to kind of ignore. Right? Why is it we've got Vanhu varikupuwa mari, tenders, whichever company is getting? Now we've got an idea. Now there is, apart from the government company, receiver mari for medication and stuff like that. Now we have an idea about what is going on. We've got an idea about what's going on. There are all these other companies that have come up, right? There are other companies that are now in place that are getting these tenders. The question is, are these companies really genuine companies that are actually going out and being audited when they receive these tenders? The answer is no. Personally, I don't believe these companies are getting audited. If you get a tender, why do you have to wait until the next tender? There's no one following up on these tenders. No one is following up on signing off things that are being done. That's how lazy people are. One of them, my MPs, my ministers, dear permanent secretary, not a permanent secretary, form 4. Look at this in a very true way. People that are in those government offices, my permanent secretaries, my permanent chakati, my vice secretaries, my auditors, some of them, they've never gone to school. They've no qualification. And yet you come back to the public, you tell them that you need O-level, a minimum of chakat, you need chakat. You scrutinize your general public and make them feel worthless, and yet you take your relatives, you place them everywhere. You see? You place your relatives everywhere. This is what we are talking about. Gentlemen, personally, I am seeking and I am of the opinion that if ED does not step down, Zimbabwe must have a revolution, an operation, a military operation must be conducted in Zimbabwe. Kana President Mnangagwa wakaramba kubva pachinzvimbo chache, a military operation must be conducted in Zimbabwe. Whether we go through whatever they call a coup, it's better. Without talking one thing, whether it's going to be a coup, whether it's going to be guys, I will tell you this right now. It's better to be under a military rule for 10 years. That we know that the principles that are established in the military are going to be serving the public. It's better. Musanye perwa. Kunzanzi coup inaita kutumiwe isolated. Yes. But is that going to benefit us as a country? I think it's going to benefit us. I personally think it's going to benefit us as Zimbabweans. So zvekuti hanzi coup yakaipa kana kuti chaku haina kuipa, guys. Coup haina kuipa. Ini ndiri kutotaura kuti it's much better for us to be under a military establishment right now. It's better. Where that military establishment is actually well organized and it's there for the people. It's a better way of living than being under a government that has got thieves that continuously steals money. Continuously stealing money. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing and very concerning. And now when the public starts talking like this, you know what? They say just tell them that we are watching. Just let them know we are watching and we know them. we are watching. As long as they know that they are not going to also run away to the outside world, we are watching. But I understand that even your fathers, they claim they were war veterans and stuff like that. Some of these fathers of yours, they never went to war. Because we also have relatives that went to war. Your fathers didn't go to war. They were in prison. They were nationalists. But now they are running the country, is it? So at the end of the day, kana kune ma CIO, nema soldier, nema purisa akaita zvituta so. Ndo zvandosi zvibvunza zvakuti, are these people genuinely, do they have capacity kufunga vega tsimunguwa? So that's when they realize that they don't. They don't have the capacity to think for themselves. Because vanhu vanofunga vega, they will know kuti, you see, the things are not going well because A, B, C, D, E. But here we've got a problem ekuti titori nevanhu vasingafunge zvavo. You know, munanetu wa CIO, intelligence, what, anotungamira zvinhu zvasingazivi, technology isipo. You see? Moda kuti budira mchiti makuda kuisa makamera pama traffic lights. Do you even know how to operate them? Huh? Do you even know how to operate those things? Do you even know how they work or how they function? You see, it's just a way of talking and trying to scare the public, is it? That's why Ndutara Kuti, guys, I'm calling for a complete military revolution in Zimbabwe. A complete coup. Kana vachiwenga vachinzwa message Ndutara, I support General Chiwenga, and in personalized support. I'm not saying that General Chiwenga said Dimas why he wants a coup. No. I don't talk to him. Even though, you know, I get these funny comments about, hey, Wakafana General Chiwenga, I don't know where, how, or whatever. I just talk my peace of mind. You know, I think Zimbabwe needs a military revolution, a complete revolution. That's what Zimbabwe needs. You see, unless we get that, then we're not going to have our freedom. Mark these words, unless we get a complete military revolution in Zimbabwe, we're not going to get our freedom. You know, now there is now Kwavenech base Chiriku South Africa, okay? Kwavenech base Chiriku South Africa. Chiriku Toravanu, wachi adapt your, you know, you take people, you go torture them in another country. Whether this is something that is done in collaboration with the South African government, we are yet to ask this question. We are yet to ring them and find out why or whether the South African government knows kuti there is a base that is vanhu vari kutora vanhu mu South Africa vachinotorture vanhu. You see, that's what we want to understand. If the South African government knows about this, and what are they going to do? Whether the authorities in South Africa know there is a base being established in South Africa, Rema CIO, Rema C10. You see, anyone who knows them, please expose them. I have a couple of them that I'll put online very soon. A couple of them that are operating Mujobek from Kwekwe. A couple of them that are from Kwekwe that actually go around. Murkudzwa kunzanzi Shonu Munangagwa is the one arikutenderera mu South Africa and stuff like that. No. Vanhu vari kutumwa naMudha, Owen Mudha Nguve. He is the one that has got a team that is in Joburg. Know that in any personal I know them. I know 10 of them that are actually in South Africa right now. 10 of them in South Africa. And these people are following people around. People that they think, they all think Kuti, Comrade Nyoka Mabunu, last name being Masiwa. So the funny thing about it is that they think Kuti Strive Masiwa. Anyone who knows Strive Masiwa, please pass on this message. They want to implicate Strive Masiwa as the key sponsor for this Geza revolution. They've gone through my networks, my banking, whatever, my banking accounts, and some other people that are in South Africa behind them, right? Because they think Kuti Strive Masiwa is the one that is actually sponsoring this revolution. Don't smear the guy. He has nothing to do with anything. Don't smear him. He has nothing to do with anything. You see, and at the end of the day, also change raiva mwevanu, guys. Change raiva mwevanu, vakaita ma journalist are prominent. Understand, Kuti. Ask yourself why they are fighting in public. some of these journalists, instead of reporting and putting their differences aside, if they are for the revolution, if all these journalists are for the revolution, why are they starting to battle each other? Journalist akaipa, journalist akaipa, wakati msuya, why are they doing this? To distract you. You're being distracted. You are being distracted. Nema journalist and udakuchaga prominence through people's names. Okay? That's what's going on. That is what's going on. And people now trying to, like I said, link Strive. How is Strive Masiwa now coming into this? How is his name? Why are people even talking about it within the Central Intelligence? Kuti no, uyumpana uyinyoka emabunu anonzi last name yake ndi Masiwa. Now you're trying to quietly investigate whether he is related to Strive Masiwa. There is 10 people vari kurana that intelligence from Kwekwe. From Kwekwe. Okay? I'm not gonna say their names, but I've got their names. From Kwekwe. Those people are the ones running this whole investigation and this varikwa adapta vanhu vachitora vanhu vachitocha vanhu mu South Africa. So to some extent I wish kuti dai vanhu vari mu South Africa vakavaziva and just go after them. Especially vanhu vaya vanofarira zvekuita armed robber vanopfuti vaya. Just go after these guys and gun them down. That's what they need. You need to go after these guys varimo mujobheki and gun these people, these motherfuckers down. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The truth is that you're dealing with very demonic people here. Unaona wanawadiki warikuma late 20s, early 30s. They're now, it's like they're professionals. Professionals in doing things to kill people. At 20, late 20-something year old. Ask yourself what's going on with the world, you know? Ask yourself about that. Inini, I think a military revolution is the key. Kana paine masoja kanditerera ininika. Ndikukudzai this. Prepare your mindset. Listen to me every time I'm going to talk about this. A military revolution is the key to our problems in Zimbabwe. A military revolution is the key to our problems. Munaita mimi minister no badarwa mari 30-something thousand per side. Right? A month. $35,000 a month. That minister doesn't care about masoja kuti masoja ane uniform ere. No one cares kuti murukudye. No one cares kuti do you have ammunition. Takuda kutaura chokwadi chacho. Pakanzi patanga hondo paipa Zimbabwe will never be able to defend itself. Dakutaura ishua. Because amuna zombo, amuna ammunition, you've got no stock. You have nothing. You don't have the recent guns. You have nothing. Literally, you've got nothing. This is the truth that I'm telling you. The general public fears nothing. You fear nothing. Zimbabwe inama weapons. It's got nothing. Yes, they've got some few stocks of bullets and stuff like that. But if South Africa is to invade Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe would not last a week. I'm telling you this, take it from me, spread it around. If South Africa is to invade Zimbabwe on a military basis, Zimbabwe would not last a week. Even these generals, they know what I'm talking about. They would not last because they don't have ammunition, they don't have anything. That's why, you know, sometimes we talk this way, that we talk, Zimbabwe needs a revolution. Zimbabwe needs a revolution, a complete military operation. And when I tell you military operation, pandafana kuona kuti maZimbabweans vanhu vasina kubatana and makwara wanzo. Zimbabweans are people that are full of fear. Fear. Ukunzo. I want you guys to go and watch what's happening in Ukraine. Go and watch what's going on in Ukraine. Ukraine last week was bombarded by one missile. After all, hey, we can fight Russia, right? Wakaro one intercontinental ballistic missile, one. and the guy rushed to try to make a deal of peace. But all along, they were being entertained doing all this rubbish. This is the same thing. Guys, isusuka. Takawanda. Dakutaura chokwadi. Takawanda kudarika masoja haya. Masoja haya, mind you, they are not fighting us. They are not against us. This is one thing that you need to take into your head. Masoja, they are not against us. Vatonetao, but they can't start this revolution. If they do understand it's a coup, if they do understand that guns are going to be blazing, Inina, I am calling for a military operation intervention in Zimbabwe. That's what I'm calling for. I'm calling for a complete military revolution, an intervention to free the basic man, the basic woman, basic old woman, basic child, and old man. So people can also understand what freedom is. Because right now no one is free. Mukataura ma problems and muina wari genuine. Vanozoterera vauraya vamwe vanhu. Okay? Kana mukataura ma problems enyu until another minister comes in and says, president is kutaurwa zvende zveshua kuti tine problem kuma hospital patanga pafa vanhu vozotogwa vonzi uyu muterrorist uyu muchi uyu are against the state panotanga pafa vanhu. They just don't listen. And like I said in another life, I said, guys, look at the structure. Look at the structure. Yes, Zimbabwe government. Okay? Makatarisa Zimbabwe government. Now go and look at the structure. Ye parliament. I ask myself why a member of parliament or someone ariki mu parliament, right? Also has got a position mu hierarchy. Ye parliament. Why does Mebo Chinomona? Why is he, who is she, sorry, it's a he anyway. Why is Mebo Chinomona? Why is he? I'm saying he because Murume anozita ane Murume, you know. Why is he in parliament, in government, and everywhere? Woman's teaching the lead was in the parliament is the president of Senate. Why is Mebo Chinomona part of parliamentary? Why is she there? Why is she running all these key things? Because she's close to ED. That's why when you bring problems to parliament, they are not listened to because Mebo Chinomona blocks everything before anything gets anywhere. This is the problem that's there. You have people who abuse power to a point where all the judiciary systems are penetrated and are controlled by the same people. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Why do we have a retired army general as part of the parliament hierarchy? Why do we have that? Why do we have Mwanawa minister kanatari related to a minister being part of being the Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Chair, Speaker of Parliament? Why is Tsitsi Gezi part of the Parliament? And yet all these people are related outside the Parliament doors. Why do we have all those people in a relation being one people? And this has happened under our nose. All these things have happened under our nose. Without knowing, we then finally realize that the whole parliament system is related. And then you have got people like Dara Geza going in and putting up this impeachment application. The motion is not being moved. Why? Because all these people are related. All these people, all those individuals, they are all related. How do you expect that to move into motion when Speaker of Parliament is related to the next guy? Speaker of Parliament works with the Senate, the President of Senate, who happens to be Mebo Chinomona, that big-headed woman. So you expect things to start moving. That could say one thing. There is not going to be a change in Zimbabwe until you complete a whole overall system of everything here. It's very true. It's very true. I call on the soldiers to initiate a military coup in Zimbabwe. I call on the military to establish a military coup. We don't care whether we go under emergency, whatever, for how many years. We are tatozvipira because zviri nani. Because under the military guidance, akuitwa zvisina basa. Akuitwa zvisina basa. Akuitwa zvisina basa. That's what we know. Under the establishment, the military, there's not going to be these problems. So, in my word out there, guys, the military must initiate a coup in Zimbabwe. The military must initiate a coup. And we must all understand, as a nation, at this point, Dr. Rashua, we must all understand. At this point, we have to understand and be on the side of the military. If we don't, we are doomed. The military must establish a military coup in Zimbabwe. I'm telling you, this has nothing to do with General Chiwenga. Nothing. Nothing to do with General Chiwenga. Don't put him in this. It's me saying it. What I said, if being an option, what option do I want? Who do I want to take over? I want General Chiwenga to take over. Because he's very disciplined. He's very principled. Why am I not talking about Chamisa? I don't want to smear him into problematic situations that he's not going to be able to deal with. It's a very simple thing. Why do I talk about General Chiwenga? Because he'll be able to protect us from this evil perpetration here, and no wonder why Muzimbabwe mchita my accidents akawanda. Don't you see that these people are evil? They drink your blood, do rituals. They drink your blood, accident after accident after accident, and as if they care about anything. They don't. They don't. That's why I'm saying to you, gentlemen, I am of the opinion that a military coup must be established in Zimbabwe. If there are soldiers watching this out there, if there are soldiers out there, you don't need to be 100. You need to be 50. You need to be 50 that blaze the guns continuously, non-stop. Then you see that the whole action starts. We want a military coup in Zimbabwe. We are calling for that. We are calling for a military coup. Zimbabwe, we are calling for a military intervention. A military coup. This government, we've had enough of it. We're calling for a military coup. We don't call it a coup, Isus. It's an operation. We've had enough of this nonsense. These kids that now want to do this nonsense. All they know is to go around and people, kill them, torture people. Unaita mwana anokura mbamako uchengeta mwana oita wesi kudarika baba wake. Anyway, guys, I've talked enough. Thank you very much for coming on board. That's how life is. Kana une msoja onozia. We are calling for a military coup. Tell them. Kana une msoja onozia. We are calling for a military coup. A military intervention is what we need right now. A military coup right now is what we need. And please pass this message to all the soldiers. Atichisina basa nemapurisa anachano itaya. Va mapurisa ondiana boki. Va mapurisa vana boki kana masoja apinda mapurisa angofana nesu. They don't have anything to do. You see, that's why ndikuti guys, we need a military intervention right now. A military coup. That's what we need. Who is going to run that? Don't put General Chiwenga in it. He has nothing to do with it. The guy has been poisoned enough. He has been killed many times. And he's still alive. Ask yourself why he's supposed to lead us to Canaan. He will lead us to Canaan. That man, General Chiwenga, will lead us to Canaan. Trust me. take my advice on that and take my word. General Chiwenga will lead us, will lead Zimbabwe in a safe way. All these killers, Vanagarwe, Vanamudanmuve, they are killers. Netim rakerepa kwekwe rimu jobekiri. Nikamfana kachuka kakema glass kanogara mkwekwe. Tukutowaziva ari akainitiate arrest ya comrade nyoka yemabhunuka. Itimu remkwekwe. Timu remkwekwe rakatuma namudanmuve rimkweko. So gentlemen, don't take these things like zvakati murikusera muchitambisirwa nguva nemajournalist ayakaya aita make their names for you know, to that point where they talk about things, they talk about things that are quite disturbing. Vanetirana jealous Indiana information yakati, instead of putting those differences aside. At this time and moment, you want to entertain us, to start listening kuti we are kutara chokwadere, we are kunyepere. Huh? That's all you talk about. Tell us about what's going on about this struggle. Talk to Comrade Geza. Vamwe journalist, you've got access to Comrade Geza. All you do is go and ask him stupid questions, come back and never update the public. You keep quiet as if nothing is going on. Tell us exactly what's going on. Update the public about the struggle. Musachiudza zvekuti gambako chikanza ningi anonzani uyu DJ Wally zvakazoti. You tell us things that are irrelevant. You start fighting your differences on the public platform where you're supposed to address to us about what's going on. Giving us nonsense ega. Nonsense. You know. Dainda ndiripo ndaikulainisa emakagwada manobhukurova emambama kana kukukweshai paside pemsora pane dombo. Aripo mumfeso ndakura naye zviita izvo zvainzi Joni. Joni aigara ku11. Let me talk about that. Let me not talk about that. Anyway, guys, inzwaika. Musaterera vanhu vanotaura sina nebasa rese, particularly these journalists to start with. Secondly, military operation is what we need in Zimbabwe. I'm calling for that. All my next live videos, I'll be focused on the benefits of having a military operation in Zimbabwe, a military coup. We want a coup. We want a coup initiated in Zimbabwe. We want a coup, and that's what we need. That's our last resort. Akuchisina zomwe savior. Look at Chamisa. What do you expect him to do? He's backed by the public. He's not backed by the soldiers. He's not backed by anyone openly. You know, they back him secretly. So what do we have? Why do we even have? Why do we even have democracy and the constitution? We have a constitution that goes only for Zanu PF. You see, constitution edisus favors Zanu PF, and whatever Zanu PF wants and says is what happens. Is it? Zanu PF this, Zanu PF that. That is what we have. That's what we have. It only favors one side of the world. Hence we have this problem. Right, gentlemen, that's Kakbas. That's Kakbas Asaka. I've got a project I'm running here. Let me talk to my team and see what's going on with some construction. I talk about construction a lot because I know about construction, okay? So, Karanchitara kuti, tinoda mvura, tinoda magetsi, tinoda fiber, tinoda masuwa, tinoda drainage. I say these things knowingly that these things will change our lives. There is no reason to have a country that has got no toilet. Kuti vanhu vanogara mudzimba dzine matoilet akachikoka kudhara. That is really completely uncalled for a government to have people living in those kind of situations. That's why I'm telling you, gentlemen and ladies, let's have a country that we also have a say, and we know it's for the benefit of the nation. Anyway, guys, have a good night, have a good afternoon, and have a good day wherever you guys are. For me, it's good morning. So that's why I'm fired up. Ndinotovengawo zvinoitika because ndinorwadziwa when I see how good some of us live outside the country anditika. And then you know kuti when you live like this, for example, guys, look at this. Look at this. This is a nice place. You have people. These houses are not very they're not new houses. These are old houses, right? These are old houses. This is an old location. We are here to do some work. I did. And if I can tell you, look at Tarisai Tara Zakaita. Tarisai footpath. Tarisai beside the footpath panelon. Look at the houses, how well maintained they are. But these are not new houses. These are 1960s or 70s or 80s houses, right? But we are at a point where Isusi as a nation, we don't understand why we need to have a country that's well maintained. It's so that people can live well and people have a life. Inini, I'm not going to give up on this. I know a lot about construction. Murukubirwa mari chinze this bridge right at 2 million. Akuna bridge runeta 2 million. Ka bridge ke kumusha kai 2 million. Msanyepero. Trikuzozistopa zvese izvozvo. Revolution ndo yatiri kuzoita. On my next videos, guys, please invite as many people as you can. I am going to actually this time establish a time frame where all of you know that I'll be online at a particular time at this time. I want you guys to invite as many people as possible. We want to talk about these problems that we're having as a country. And our solution right now is only a military operation, a military intervention in the country. This is what we're calling for. Guys, have a good night, have a good day.